Please be advised, this series contains harsh language and references to potentially triggering material, including mention of suicide, self-harm, abuse of both drugs and alcohol, and deep discussions on religion. Listener discretion is advised. Last time on Ombligo del Diablo, we started off with a bang as a blinding light lit up the night sky. We tried to have a conversation with some angels, which quickly led to some grappling and arguing. Oliver put on his best southern preacher and shot Murph. Murph attempted intimidation and triple botched. Val did some real science, and Jamie did some pseudoscience. In the end, an angel died, but not before cursing Oliver for the rest of his days. Frankie taught us a lesson and invited Val back for more after-school specials. Eaton advised us to sell blood to the mayor, so we split our haul. Half for Tiana and half for the mayor. Speaking of the mayor, Mrs. Finn greeted us with a smile. Oliver was charmed, Murph was concerned, Jamie was oblivious, and Val watched us all squirm. Today we start with some downtime and the pitching of a new business venture.
Discussing any revisions to people's hopes and fears based on the events of last games. Do you have any new things that your character would like? Any new worries on the horizon for you? Hopes and fears are things that should probably evolve regularly to keep them current. Matt, would you like to go first?
I don't mind going first.
Okay.
I don't think they've changed substantially, but I've made progress in them. So the whole making friends and allies thing is definitely still a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems to be coming to fruition a little bit. Gaining power and stuff like that seems to be backburnered right this second, but that's okay. I'm kind of learning new stuff. Fears losing new friend allies, I guess, is kind of a thing now. Maybe that's where I'm at.
Any specific short-term goals relating to new developments?
Well, definitely I want to investigate the antimatter thing the crazy farmer had whenever that comes back to being looked at again. I don't know. It's kind of where things are.
Okay. Sam?
Okay. Well, you know what my new goal is.
Okay.
As far as specifics go, but
So if you want to say it for the listeners.
no. There's a reason I'm not saying
it. Will be a reveal.
It will be revealed, but no.
Okay.
Yeah, so other than that, my usual overarching hope and my usual fear haven't changed.
Okay, well, state them again.
Usual hope that the work I'm doing means something and will be successful, and the fear that if I'm found out, I will lose everything I've worked towards.
Okay. James?
I don't think my hopes and fears have changed. I think Pillar of the Community still stands as he's going to try to convince people that he's a doctor, and his fear is that somebody's going to die because of him. And if anything, that was reinforced last time.
Okay. An excellent point. Ginger?
Yeah, I also don't think that too much has changed, other than the fact that, like, my fear has come up, I think more than once at this point. To reiterate, again, the hope is to one day find a purpose or an end goal. Fear is hurting others when my dumb luck runs out, and that very nearly came to fruition last time.
Okay. Do we have a Dan?
We have a Dan.
Do you have your character's hopes and fears?
Hope. Protect my charges at all costs, and do what little I can to make up for my past cruelties. And my fear, pain and tragedy befalling others because of me.
Okay, a little bit vague, but I think that as story events occur, you will be able to focus on specific things that might be a worry.
Sounds good.
So starting this episode, we're going to be doing some fun facts about our characters.
Give us one
I'll
at a
just
time.
give you one.
Yep.
My character's a virgin. She's never slept with a man or a woman. She's kissed men and women, but she's never gone all the way with either.
All right. James?
He was kicked out of senior year for selling booze at the prom.
That sounds about right.
Like good booze or like the cheap type?
What are you talking about? He stole it from his parents.
So decent. Val, do you have one?
Yes, Val is a slut for really good pico de gallo.
You're in, well, close-ish to the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
You have yet to actually find any decent place for food around here.
Oh, she makes it herself. Like, whenever she has the chance to get her hands on ingredients, she makes it herself because nobody else can do it right.
Did she
except in
have a
Mexico.
tomato farm, a tomato garden, and then like those feds messed it up?
No, I mean, it would be pretty damn hard to grow anything out here.
What kind of mad scientist are you?
Look,
No, you should
not
be able to
the
grow whatever
plant
you want.
type.
It's just as long as you got running water,
Fair.
you're good to go. Deserts are great for growing stuff. They just usually don't have enough water to grow anything.
Yeah, that's the point.
But you
Sometimes
have water.
Ombligo del Diablo isn't exactly flush with water, I'm sure.
Waterless tomatoes.
There is a pump in the center of town. Well, not quite the center of town. The center of town is a giant hole of unfathomable depth, but nearish the center of town, there is a water pump.
Well, anyways, if you can do Pico de Gallo right, you might actually get friendship points with Val.
And Ginger?
Fun fact, Murph is deathly allergic to bees.
Excellent. I will use this. No,
That was the plan.
Yeah, that's the idea, that these end up coming up in very organic and silly ways later on in the games.
Don't forget to put allergy bees on your character sheet.
So where would that go under?
Merits and flaws, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Notes.
hey, I don't think a natural allergy is a flaw. I don't think that's my fault.
Well,
It's a merit.
But
I mean,
a
it's
merit. I've survived this long.
flaws are definitely not supposed to be your fault. Like, blind is listed on flaws, and we're not going to start blaming people for their own blindness, are we?
That's fair. All right.
Okay. So, a couple people that you guys would be at least passingly familiar with within this first week would be the barkeep and the manager of the general store. The bar is also the closest thing to a restaurant. They do not have excellent pico de gallo, but it's ran by Angela Thorson, who is an 87-year-old woman with the loudest laugh you can imagine it coming from someone who is as thin as a twig. If there was such thing as a party in an Ombligo del Diablo, Angela would definitely be the one to throw it, and has been for as long as anyone can remember, because no one can even really remember when she was young, or when she was not a bartender. The other that everyone would know is Saffron, real name Anna. She runs the general store. She likes to dabble about with technological junk, has a hobby of astronomy, and she tends to dress mainly in worn canvas jumpsuits with lots of pockets. So, did you guys have anything that you wanted to address after your week of adjusting to your tiny shack and getting Val's laboratory starting to be put back together? And I think picked up a couple things for yourself, and I think that you are once again out of money, right? Is there anybody that's not true for?
That's an investment, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
course.
I still have money. Because everybody gave me theirs.
Okay, so is there anything that people wanted to address on their own before the current events of the week should start to unfold?
I think Oliver spent half of his time sneaking in to read Val's medical texts, and then the other half of his time chatting up Saffron, trying to find any angles he can on the town.
Okay, give me a
Oh no! Don't make me roll!
manipulation streetwise.
Oh, that's good. It's actually something good at. I was worried for a moment. I mean, I should still be worried, I suppose. So I'm rolling 5 dice. 2 successes.
2 successes?
Mhm.
Okay. What are you interested in learning about, other than that the current quote-unquote doctor is Tiana, whose methods are not known for being particularly scientific, but they seem to work, and that there is a truck that comes by once a week to bring goods to the general store.
That's especially good information. But one of the things that I want to know is, like, what is the thing that people, like, really want in the town but isn't practical? So a lot of people don't actually get it. Like, the thing that's not a food or a clothing, it's a thing people want, but the general store doesn't really stock it because it'd be too expensive or not enough space.
If you're asking Saffron, she says that she can get most of the stuff that people are asking for. But I think that by chance, you at one point mentioned this question within the hearing of Angela. You were chatting Saffron up at the bar, and Angela comes over, puts both hands on the bar, and leans over, and she says, "What they're looking for is porn. Turns out People around here, they don't seem to be too ecstatically willing to go to Saffron here and ask her to order them the latest.
You don't say.
Angela walks away and Saffron turns beet red.
Well, of course, no one wants to go up to their local proprietor of their local businesses and ask for something so sultry.
This week's story shall begin at the tavern. Angela has just sparked a discussion about the scarcity of pornography in the town of Ombligo del Diablo. And
Can I have brought this up after I used the last of my money to buy everybody drinks to endear them to this wild scheme of mine?
wait, you have gone back over to the table after making an awkward with Saffron?
Absolutely.
And you've bought everyone at the table a drink, and then you start your elevator pitch with, guys, I have an idea.
No.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but this town is missing something deeply important to its very foundation. Now, you might not know what it is. It's not seen by everyone. I know you, my good friend Jamie. You understand the nature of soil, of foundation, the little things in between, the little things gone unnoticed. It is, in fact, pornography, gentlemen and ladies. We must grab this for the town, and we will make a fortune together.
Val very quickly covers Murph's ears. What the hell?
No, this is not for us to consume, of course.
That's wild. They don't have pornography?
Apparently, the local purveyor of goods is somewhat unwilling to touch such scandalous purveyance.
Are we talking about porn? I think I'm reading lips. What's happening?
No. Seriously? Right here, in the middle of a public place.
There's all of 3 people in this building, outside of our fine group.
Yeah, that's public.
A deeply sunburned man wearing a faded orange jumpsuit stumbles through the door of the little bar. His jumpsuit has several tears in it. His lips are cracked and bleeding. His eyes are deep red. He stumbles back and forth as a man who has likely nearly died of dehydration. He walks up to the bar and he just hoarsely whispers, "Water."
All right, I'm going to walk up. I don't know what I'm drinking currently, but if he needs something immediately, whatever I got in front of me, I'll offer him.
You've got the cheapest beer, because that's what I just bought you.
Okay, all right. I've got some PBR. I put it in front of the man. Don't actually say
PBR,
anything.
It's just beer.
Oh, okay. It's beer brand beer?
It is
White label beer.
Beer, yes.
Okay, sounds good.
You put that down in front of him while he's sitting at the bar, and he desperately drinks. Angela looks and says, "Oh, beer won't do him much good here." And she brings up a clay jug and plops on the table and says, "This man looks half dead." And then she smiles and walks away.
You doing all right, son?
He looks at you as though you may have just asked a stupid question. He says, "Been better."
What happened to you?
He looks down at his jumpsuit with the numbers printed across the chest and also across the back. And he says, "Oh, just walked in. Don't really have any place that I'm looking to go back to."
I think that guy's like a criminal. I say like loudly because my ears are still covered.
Seriously?
Yeah, we get people like that around here. You from nowhere in particular, then?
Yeah, I'm from nowhere. You think you guys might know a place I can stay for a while? I just need a bed.
Where am I sleeping currently?
You are sleeping in the, up until recently, abandoned house that the sheriff tipped you off to.
I don't know if I've got a great spot for it, but if you want to go stop by the sheriff's office, she's got a heart. She might be willing to point someone willing to work in the right direction.
Are you pointing the escaped convict towards the sheriff?
He looks a bit bewildered at the suggestion.
Murph!
Wouldn't go dressed like that, of course.
I have a number of fine shirts you might be interested in.
Yeah, surely I've got some overalls or something in my truck.
I was thinking about those exactly.
That'd be very nice of you. But if you're sure that you're willing to help me.
Yeah, we've ran on the wrong side of things a couple times. We know what it's like.
As long as you give us your word you're not trying to start a ruckus around here. Last thing these people need is more trouble.
Well, I never try.
What sort of trouble you find yourself in?
Well, it's just been that way. All my days, trouble has found me.
I go grab up some stuff from the truck.
I cover Murph's ears and I reach over to Val. And I say,
Over Val covering
yes.
Murph.
So double cover, and I say, I think we have found Murph's opposite.
The karmic coin flip to Murph.
I'm just like slapping Oliver, like, no, stop. Guys.
Don't let that man touch her. Who knows what might happen?
It's like a matter
You honestly
antimatter
think I would
reaction.
let her go near somebody that I don't know. Frankly, the fact that we let her near you says a lot.
It's a matter
What
antimatter
are you
reaction.
saying?
If they touch each other, it becomes a warp core.
I'll tell
Infinite
you-
energy.
I will tell you a story in exchange for a shirt and maybe something to eat.
Yeah, I think I got some jerky or something.
And maybe we could get out of here.
What kind of vehicle we got? We got a pickup truck or anything that good old boys might sit in the back of and talk?
I believe that Jamie has a Jeep, and
Alright.
you guys do not have a vehicle, if I recall.
Okay.
We have a busted vehicle.
That is correct.
Val has a busted vehicle. Thanks.
Yes. I mean, of course, it's your vehicle.
Oh,
We're working
that's-
on fixing it.
Yeah, that's
contribution
what
is
she
already
spent money
clear.
on. That's what she spent the rest of her money on. It's in the shop. Whatever passes for a shop around here.
It's just in back of the general store.
No, that would be Eaton's house. Is the closest thing to a shop around here.
Then she took it to Eaton.
How long of a walk is it to where we're staying?
It is about 100 feet.
Yeah, come around the back here. We got a place we can talk.
Oh,
Uh,
hi, by the way, I'm Murph. And I try to like shake his hand.
He looks at your hand nervously. And
Oliver looks very imploratively towards Val.
slowly
Why are you looking at me?
reaches out his
It will look strange for me to grab a woman like that. Please take her back.
I honestly don't feel like that's
Do not
Val's
let
not
them
gonna
touch
actually
it.
do
It will lead to
anything.
no good, I'm assure you.
Val doesn't believe a thing that guy says, to be honest. So
Like, I'm just staring back at the dude. Like, why is he not shaking my hand? What is happening?
Vince
It-
just shrugs.
Are you like sick or what's your name?
He shrugs, then reaches out his hand to shake yours.
Oh
Um,
god, it's happening.
And he just says, they've just always called me 13.
That's a rather unlucky number.
I'm a rather unlucky man.
Oh god.
Let's talk somewhere else. I'd like to change my clothes if I could. Maybe wash my face.
By the way, do I have like a fake ID? Do I have a name I am operating under for the purposes of telling people my name? Or am I just completely off the grid?
You have an expired driver's license of somebody who looks mostly like you back at the house, although there isn't a lot of exchange of identification that goes on in this town.
Since I also have a fake ID, can I ask that my name is Enrique Cruz?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Wait. No, your actual last name is Cruz.
Whoosh! Ah.
You were not so lucky as to get one with the same last name.
No, I was thinking that is specifically because I'm unlucky.
Oh.
That it like exposes my last name.
No.
I'm trying to hide.
Enrique Montal.
Montal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, are you guys leaving the bar?
Yeah, if I got any cash, I'll. I bought
Don't
a
worry,
beer,
I
but
settled
I'll.
up with her already.
I put like $1 on the bar, regardless.
Oh shit, tip. Thank you.
Val slaps Oliver's hand away.
Angela takes the $1 tip while facing the other direction, pointedly not seeing whatever is going on.
Cool. Angela's good people.
At some point on the way to our hidey hole house, I want to check Murph's hand in the subtlest way possible. Be like post up for a high five in a weird dad way to try to see if there's any like dire mark upon her palm now.
to see if she was visibly cursed.
I absolutely accept
Yes.
this high five.
You do not notice any mark of the devil that has been imparted upon her.
You get
does
a
not
high
have
five
the-
and also a visible sigh of relief.
Oh, As you're walking, though, you do notice that on the back of the guy's neck, there is the number 13 tattooed on the back of his neck.
Narrowed eyes. Suspicion.
And you guys get back to the little patio behind your house. It's more or less an overhang with a corrugated sheet metal as a roof.
I've been in safe houses that were worse.
Yeah, well, this is your house, home sweet home. It consists of 2 bedrooms and a living room and this little porch.
Anytime I've had after my leg is healed, by the way, I've spent just doing any odd jobs anybody had around town or needed handling, like putting up fence posts.
It's only been a week or so. You've just sort of gotten back on your feet.
Cool, but I've made myself useful if anybody need me.
Yes. Okay. So, does anybody bring this guy new clothes?
Is this a big guy? Would any of my shit fit him?
Your stuff would fit him.
If I probably got like a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of slacks I don't use much.
Brilliant.
The post-mission garb.
Yeah. my Vegeta pink Hawaiian shirt.
All right. This is the perfect outfit for this guy. He changes right there in the shade of the little overhang, and he says, I do need to thank you for helping me out in hard times. I guess I promised you a story. Do you want the short one or the long one?
I mean,
I vote the long one.
I don't got anything else
Ah, that's
going
what you
on,
said.
but
Murph, language.
I smirk at Murph.
Well, a couple years back, I had a wife and a job. I had a boss. Then I found out one day that my wife was leaving me for my boss. And gotta say, I was unhappy about that. But I worked as a mechanic, little shop, Chicago. And I went to work the next day, and I don't think my boss knew that I knew yet. Well, it was an awkward day, but I swear, the chain, when I was holding the engine up, just kind of slipped. The police didn't buy it. They figured that I must have dropped on him while he was working on that truck.
Oliver, who definitely believes in curses, looks around for any Friday the 13th nonsense that could happen right here. Very suspiciously.
He survived the initial drop, but he died in the hospital 2 days later. And, well, that's how I ended up on the run for a little while. Found my way to California. Thought I'd start over.
This is a good town for starting over. But,
well, didn't quite make it here.
Mm.
I found myself taking odd jobs, doing deliveries. I guess I should have looked at what I was delivering. Did you know that they just sell drugs on the internet and just have people just driving to people's houses?
Are you
No.
serious?
Mm.
No, I missed out.
I hadn't imagined. No.
Well,
I stare at Vincent.
Vincent has definitely delivered a lot of drugs for people.
I also want to see if this guy is lying about the thing with his boss.
okay. Give me a wits insight roll.
I figured as much.
It's a hard one.
Ginger, use your Murph powers.
Cracks knuckles. So you said that like these bad things just kind of happened to you, right?
Since the day I was born.
And the chain, was that like, that wasn't the first thing that happened. Was that like the worst thing that's happened?
I think that it was the worst thing that's happened in my adult years. I think that it was worse when they finally found me with one of those deliveries. Sent me to prison for 2 years. Well, sent me for 10.
Right,
But
right,
I seem to have gotten out early.
right.
Val,
Jesus.
you get the feeling, you are not quite sure whether that was on purpose, but you get this vague sense that he's not quite sure either.
Did you want the chain to break?
Well, no, of course not. I wouldn't
Are you
want
sure
to.
about that?
I'll roll on that sentence. Is that also wits insight?
Uh-huh.
I would also love to.
I just did. I don't know. I only got one success, so I don't know much if I know anything.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. He seems hurt by the question. Ooh, botch. Roll a die to see what you're certain of. High is he definitely meant it. Low is he definitely didn't.
Why?
Low, he definitely did not intend that to happen. He is confident of that.
That feels right. Murph seems to believe the best of people.
Have you ever been able to influence the bad stuff that has happened to you?
If I'd figured out the trick of that, I don't think I'd be here right now. I guess.
Ooh, I want to science him. I want to science him so bad.
That's what she
Here,
said.
put these electrodes on. We're gonna guess cards. Surely I got a shiny rock or $5 somewhere I can pay you to be my lab rat.
Truly, you should have guessed by now.
Just looking to recreate that scene out of Ghostbusters.
Right?
A bunch of wavy lines. So he says, I mean, I don't know if that last bit was bad luck or good, but they were transferring me from one prison to another, and the car that was taking us got hit in the middle of the desert.
What'd you guys get hit by?
This car, big SUV, had 6 guys in suits.
Did any of them survive?
Yeah, how did these fine gentlemen fare?
I have to admit that I don't know. No one was moving around too much when I left. I know that the 2 guards that were transporting me, they were dead. The guys in the other car, I didn't stop to check.
No, I probably wouldn't have either. Do you know which direction he came from?
He sort of tries and gives a description. Give me a intelligence survival to figure it out. Fail. All right. You're not sure.
Can I spend a willpower to reroll one of those ones?
You can't reroll ones or successes on by spending willpower.
No problem.
So give me an intelligence investigation for something else, though. That's 7 successes. So although you're not quite sure where they were coming from, you're pretty sure who these particular individuals were. They seem to match the description of the maybe FBI agents that we ran across earlier, which might explain the haste in their driving.
Yeah. I suggest if anybody wants to go back with me, including the escaped convict, that we should go back to the bar and see if we can find his physical tracks where he came into town and follow them back out to the wreck site. But I don't think he wants to go with us.
He has been walking in the desert for at least 2 weeks.
You must be tremendously lucky.
Hey, Murph, you want to go for a ride? Let's go.
Yeah.
No,
Let's take the
no.
lucky
Leave
person.
those assholes to their
We'll go
fate.
for a ride.
Oh, okay.
Let them burn and die.
Dal, you want to go for a ride?
No.
Hell no.
13 should stay here and rest. He is on the edge of collapse, but we should go with Murph.
Yay, teamwork. Let's go.
Okay, so
Why are we going to look?
There was some
Aren't you at all
That's
curious?
fine objects dropped by those gentlemen that might still be in the location. Do you remember the status of your house not a week ago?
Yeah, that's why I want to leave them to their deaths and the coyotes. Coyotes sometimes need some beat. They'll be fine.
There were some shiny minerals in that location that Jamie might have interest in.
Oh, you mean the minerals that you brought that caused these assholes to ruin my fucking house?
But
Yeah, that's right.
Murph, you want to go out there or not? If you do, I'll watch over you. If not, I'll stick around and keep an eye on this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, whatever you guys need me to do, I'll help.
Now don't let these fine, upstanding folk push you around. Remember that it's all your decision, and if you really want to help your friend Val, you should get that financial support for her.
Don't let these people push you around when you are pushing her around. Oliver,
Why,
seriously?
I'm just informing her of her options.
I mean, you
Don't
also.
try that bullshit on me.
I mean, you also with the hands. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was just making sure Val's hands were secure at the time. I was very worried about this 13 gentleman.
Oh, okay.
Not to worry, Mr. 13, you seem like a fine fella.
I was gonna say, you know the fella's right here, don't you?
I do indeed.
And you know why I was covering her ears, because you chose to use an inappropriate topic in the middle of the goddamn tavern.
You are correct. I am very sorry about that. I just got really amped up about something and didn't realize that a bigger fish was coming our way.
That's disgusting.
13 looks from one to the other and he says, I can't tell for certain, but I think if you go out there, on my word, I don't think it'll go well. That's just sort of the way these things work, as far as I've been able to figure it.
Blanche, but also just looks at Murph.
But I mean, you also have admitted that bad luck just kind of follows you everywhere. So if, my luck and our luck is different than yours, we should be fine.
He looks confused and says, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that.
Well, if you are always surrounded by bad luck, you wouldn't know any different, now would you?
It seems to, it's not just bad luck for me. I bring it to everyone else.
Oh,
Well,
God,
look-
we wouldn't ask to you, and now we're cursed as well.
Oh, screw off, Oliver. Listen,
No, y'all should believe this. I don't know if you all have recognized what has been happening to me over the last week.
yeah, that's before this guy rolled into town. Now,
Wow,
listen,
never
you
mind.
mate. If you wanna, you can hang out on the floor here for a minute. We don't got a lot of space. I feel an engine dropping on me. Well, I think that'll be the end of our acquaintance. But this ain't exactly a hotel. As soon as you find gainful employment or another place to sleep, I want you out. Here?
He nods and then sort of half walks, half crawls to the middle of the floor in the main room, curls up on a little rug, one of the few adornments of the place, and passes out.
Yeah, maybe we try to find him a blanket?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I got an extra one or anything, or even like a sheet, I'd toss it on him.
You've got one of those old woven Mexican blankets,
Ooh, cool.
and toss that on him and an old pillow.
Can I give him just like a once-over really quick with actual, medicine?
Sure. Into medicine.
This is entirely not selfish. Don't worry about it. That is 4 successes.
All right. What would you like to inquire about his medical condition?
I know there's not a lot I can do about just dehydration because I don't have an IV on me. Just got a doctor's
water.
bag.
He needs water and a place that is cool to rest, and some salt would help.
Yeah, I think I just generally supply him with some water and a little bit of salt in it, make some improv Gatorade, and provide it to him. But I was looking to see if there's any other obvious injuries that we had missed.
Broken rib.
And I don't know if 4 successes gives me enough to basically know enough to just wrap that and leave it alone.
It's already partly healed. Just have them, not put any pressure on it and relax for a little while.
I tell him to sleep on the other side.
He already is, surprisingly enough.
No, no, surely not.
You also notice the sort of gouges and burns associated with hot metal, probably handcuffs around his wrists.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to get way worse for a second.
Like he had them on for a little while in the hot sun.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
Oh, also a huge number of random scars. Old ones. Just all over his body. No pattern, different sizes, different shapes. He's been shot at least 3 times. A knife wound.
Yeah, all clearly from different stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. All this time he's taking care as much as possible to not touch him. But yeah, Gatorade.
Okay.
Here you go. Make sure to wake up on the hour. Here's a kitchen timer. It will wake you up. And I want you to drink at least 1 cup.
He doesn't seem to hear you. He seems to be completely out.
I press the kitchen timer against his head. And then stand up and get ready to go.
Okay.
Hey guys, do you think anybody's following him?
It's possible. Do you think we should tell the sheriff, what we've seen, what we've done, or leave her out of it?
Knowing her and what I've seen, that she's too interested in having to deal with the exact legalities of his problem. But she might appreciate knowing that there's a desperate man run as far as he could out here.
Yeah, knowing the sheriff, she doesn't exactly like having trouble suddenly show up on her doorstep. She kind of likes knowing that it's coming.
Be
I would
inclined to stop us from our current course of action.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask you guys. If you think we should tell her what we're up to, or hold that back, or how much do we want to tell her if we want to stop by and say hi and tell her anything, is what I was getting at.
I think I owe it to her to let her know man's come in from the desert.
But really, how much does she need to know?
I don't think she either needs to know or would. care to know the exact nature of what brought him here.
Yes, exactly. Someone needs to change the sign out front that says population 210.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of there might be like more cops following him potentially, especially because the crime that he supposedly committed, I really don't think that he meant to do it, was murder. I just a thought.
By the way, Vincent definitely believes that he just murdered that guy. Like, it just, he can't be sure, but he's pretty damn sure. Because Vincent would have killed that guy. Like, old Vincent in a heartbeat would have murdered that man. So, yeah, he believes that he killed him.
You must roll for it. I demand it.
Jamie believes such wacky things that she's pretty sure he's cursed, and she really wants to science the fuck out of it. She's really divided as to whether she wants to even go bother looking for diamonds or a crash site at all. Kind of wants to just poke him awake and start experimenting.
Why would anyone need diamonds when you have the unluckiest man on the earth right in front of you?
Right?
Oliver's sure he's cursed and is not okay with it. There's already enough bad mojo going on around here. He's sticking suspiciously close to Murph.
Okay, so I'm driving to the sheriff's office, I guess.
Who goes with to the sheriff's office? Please say aye.
I
Aye.
also
Aye. I'll ride shotgun if nobody has any objection.
All right.
Definitely no objections then.
So you all get to the sheriff's office. It's late in the evening, 9 o'clock or so. There's a guy in his 30s sitting at the desk in the deputy's uniform. As you walk in, he gives a nod and he says, how can I help you?
Would you all like to let me handle this?
Yes, go for it.
Go on.
Yeah, also,
To
Oliver,
this
I believe
lukewarm.
you. You got this.
Why, thank you, Murph. He walks up to Deputy
Joe.
Deputy
Robert.
Joe. It's a pleasure to meet you. I haven't had the opportunity to meet all of my fellow neighbors. I just wanted to inform you that there's a gentleman from out of the desert itself walking in on his own legs. Seems to be lost, but he seems to be willing and able and wanting to set up a shop in this fine town. We just wanted to inform you of this unusual event, I assume.
All right. Thank you for letting me know. Does this individual have a name?
He informed us that he would like to be referred to as the number 13, not ominous as you suspect, I assure you.
He scrambles around for a notepad and well, thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. Do you know where I might find and talk to this man?
I believe you are familiar with the sheriff as you are a co-worker of hers, but I would appreciate it if you would go in and check on him. He is asleep in our abode, which she provided us when we arrived. Elsewise, I would also like you, and I grasp his hand and I say, to inform me if anything suspicious arrives as to information concerning this man. And I use hypnotic suggestion.
Okay. All right. Give me a
I can't roll until it happens.
What? Oh, right. Okay. He looks at you and says, absolutely. And I will let my wife know.
Oh, are you two married?
He nods.
Being as neighborly as possible until somebody stops me.
Give me a charisma etiquette roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Jamie's listening to him talk about nothing. I rolled. I'm going to the car. I'll see you guys when you're ready.
I got 3 successes.
Okay. You managed to not annoy him with your presence. They have kids.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
And also that his brother's name was Frankie.
Boss. Who stops me from gabbing with this dude?
oh dear God. That
I
Frankie?
didn't stop you, but I'll let you know out of character that you probably got about 10 minutes before I leave.
You've got 10 minutes to stop me.
Friend.
Yeah, no, Val's listening because she wants to see how long this string of not actually saying anything that's complete bullshit goes on.
It doesn't.
Vince just has his shades on and he's leaning up against a wall, kind of in a half nap.
Literally just stuck with facts. I was very surprised.
Eventually, the deputy excuses himself, saying that he's going to need to go and make the acquaintance of that individual, and asks you for which house you're living in.
Yeah, I give him the address, and then I make our exit, and I smile at everyone. That deputy was fine, pleasant, I must say so.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like a good guy.
You didn't pepper in a single lie in there. I'm impressed. Good job, Oliver. Holy shit.
Oh, our omissions are lies.
You defend yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Baby steps.
So there is a trail in the sand leading back out of town, and it goes on a few hundred feet before it becomes somewhat difficult to follow. Can anyone give me an investigation or survival roll? Wits plus.
I would like to try this, even though I'm bad at it.
All right, Oliver.
Oliver is inspired, and he gets 2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes.
May I choose to try and aid?
Sure, you can try and help also.
I'll wits investigate.
I got 5 successes.
Jamie manages to follow the trail for the longest, and you are very certain that he has been walking around in a circle for quite a while, and you come across a shack. Out in the middle of nowhere, it looks slightly bigger than an outhouse. There's some prospector tools out back. The footsteps definitely came near here or in here. Hard to tell.
I go knock on the shack door.
Ooh, I'm gonna pull out my mag, but I'm gonna leave it behind my back, where I can tuck it back in my pants if I had to.
There is no answer, but you smell something foul.
Okay, I'm gonna put my gun up near my head, and I'm gonna try the door handle.
The door, this little hanging door, has a deadbolt sort of screwed into it. Deadbolt is extended and also smashed open, as if this door was kicked open from the inside. So you pull the door open, and there is a card table with cards still on it, and a dead man sitting in one of the chairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to that guy and try and see what killed him and check pockets identification.
There is a gun on the table, halfway in between the 2 chairs.
I check who had the winning hand.
It looks like the dead man did.
Typical.
Checking to see how the dead man died.
Okay, give me an intelligence plus investigation roll. The medicine will not require a roll. The cause of death was a bullet. Interesting information would require an investigation check, though.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'll do that. Intelligence investigation. All right.
At least the bastard's in good company. If I could choose to die playing cards, go out in the same way Wild Bill did, ain't too bad.
So what's he look like? Is this a rusty old prospector? How's he dressed? What do we see in?
3 successes.
Okay, so this guy definitely seems like a prospector. There is something closed in his hand, has a firm grip on it in his left hand. You can tell that he was sitting when he was hit with the bullet. It was from very close. There is only 1 bullet in the gun, and the only thing that you're not quite sure of is whether he was holding the gun and dropped it, or whether someone else was holding the gun and dropped it on the table.
So the angle doesn't give that away very much.
Right.
Hey, Oliver, he's got something in his left hand. Want to take a look?
Oh, you're right. He certainly does. He reaches out like tentatively and like does like a overly long dramatic hesitation before eventually, I'm sorry, sir. I would just like to see what this is. I certainly will not take it from you unless it is extremely valuable.
You need
then
a
starts-
hand, Oliver. He ain't nothing but meat now.
Pries fingers open if it's not, supernaturally difficult.
It is difficult enough to not easily be done gracefully. You can definitely pry them open, but you find yourself needing to use an implement at one point to pull the fingers open. And
searches through doctor's bag, finds clamps.
Yes. And after applying a great deal of force, the hand pops open and a diamond drops to the floor.
Is this one of our diamonds? Or rather, is it obviously not one of our diamonds? Because I imagine we had like a bunch all kind of similar size kind of thing.
Yeah, it very possibly is one of yours.
Okay.
I pick up
All
a
right.
random card off the table and hold it up. Oh, look, it's a diamonds.
You pick up the ace of diamonds. Out of it's the top card of the deck.
I hand the diamond to Jamie. If you would, you're the geologist, yes? Could you see if there's anything specific on this diamond that might give it away? I know some of them are
In my
inscribed.
pocket and see what I see.
Okay. So the diamond is not of exceptionally high quality, but it is fairly large in size. You're guessing that if you could find a place to sell this, and someone who knew enough about diamonds to know its actual value, it should be worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. It has been polished but not cut, and you're not sure whether there's machinery to do this around here or not, but that's about all you know about it.
Okay, cool. I suppose I'd use that and my ability at finding like objects to see if there's any other valuable gemstones or diamonds in the shack.
Oh, is that a route you have?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a wits investigation roll.
While she does that, I gather up the deck of cards.
Okay. You gather up the deck of cards. There doesn't seem to be anything left on the table that was a bet.
Man gets gunned down with a winning hand. That usually means it was over money. A diamond in his palm doesn't make any sense.
Well, none of this makes sense, but we can obviously say that 13 is lying to us, right?
No, as far as we could tell, his trail just went near here,
Okay, I think I misconstrued that bit.
which is even more foreboding for us because we've, actually interacted with him. If his just being near could cause this. I got 4.
There is another diamond in the house. What is your method of finding this? Is this a sort of a dowsing rod kind of thing?
Yeah, you hold one thing in your hand, you look around for the other thing.
Hang on a string and like attracts light?
Yep.
It leads you over to the bed that's separated off by a curtain, and underneath it, there are some loose floorboards underneath the bed.
I try pulling them up.
Oh, you got 4 successes on the investigation check? Yeah. The bed is large enough for 2, but only seems to be worn on one side. Moving the bed aside and moving those floorboards, you find a little jeweler's box and a framed picture of a woman, much younger than the dead man.
Does she look at all familiar?
No.
Oh, okay.
And opening up the jeweler's box, there's an engagement ring with the aforementioned diamond.
Shit.
That's just sad, yo.
So here's my guesses, right? Whoever killed this guy either didn't know about the diamond he had in his hand, whatever they were betting was more important to the other person than the diamond he had in his hand, or, I don't know, bad luck?
Or it was a crime of passion, perhaps. The
I don't know.
diamond just wasn't necessary.
I'm thinking it's a combination of your guesses 2 and 3. I bet they, ended up out here and had all the diamonds from the farm, and one really wasn't important amongst, however many there were.
Why are we all discounting suicide?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean,
Definitely looks possible.
still had a diamond ring.
Could have been playing with a ghost. Maybe even the ghost of his wife. How silly would that be?
Oliver, sometimes I don't even know what to say to you, my friend.
Well, he's not that far.
I said that in jest. That was
I've
entirely
I've
not
got a
purposeful
machine in the
or
van. I can
serious.
see if we can contact her ghost.
What? No.
I'll get my ghost radio. I go get my ghost radio.
That was it's Spirit 1 effect, right?
Yeah.
I think you took the alien autopsy instead.
No, that's my ritual I took. The road I took is talk to rocks or talk to anima.
Well, you can only observe them, not talk to them with Spirit 1.
We can try observing.
Okay.
I've seen some crazy shit. This might as well happen.
You set up your radio, and all that you really hear out of it is static, but you've got the little microphone on a stick. Give me a resolve occult.
Resolve occult. Okay.
Hey, Vincent,
Yeah, what you need, Murph?
can you teach me how to play poker?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if this feels like the appropriate time or place, but yeah, I got you, Murph.
Yay!
I
Okay,
smirked
success.
at her good cheer.
Okay, so You notice that the static sort of goes away towards a soft hum right over 2 spots on that bed.
I try putting the pitcher in the ring on the bed, see if it changes anything in terms of the static.
The area of nod static seems to move for a bit. Like there's 2 spots standing up next to the bed, and they stand there for a little while. Then they lay back down, and over the radio you hear the sound of a creaking, maybe water pump. It's creaking a rusty metal and the sound of water splashing.
Sorry, was that from the...
Coming out of the radio.
Okay.
Everyone can hear this, yeah.
Did you guys hear that? Did that sound
2
like a water pump
steps
to you?
back.
Do you guys want to go check out the water pump? I'm already walking that.
Yeah, I
There's water
guess.
pump out.
I go.
We go out there and set up the mic out there and investigate around there.
I skip.
There is a water pump, but it's taken apart, and there's a hook that a bucket would be, and no bucket. This is a half-day's walk from town. Someone who's seeing this water pump, someone give me an intelligence plus craft or intelligence plus technology roll.
Got it.
Okay?
I don't got it. That's 1.
This pump is definitely broken.
I could tell by the way it's disassembled.
Yes. The pump is broken, and the bucket is missing.
I think I saw it in a movie once, like a well, and then there was like this girl. It was bad.
So, what do you guys do? It is currently around midnight. A crescent moon is starting to set over the horizon. This place just feels heavy.
It's late, guys. I think might be worth getting out of here. I look up at the moon rising in the sky and kind of scoff and start humming CCR under my breath.
While everybody else is looking at the well, I want to pick up the gun inside and just sort of look at it and feel the barrel and check and see how many bullets are left in it, kind of thing, and try to not shoot it accidentally.
There is 1 empty bullet in the revolver.
He tries to put the blanks in there to see if they fit.
They do not.
Ah.
The blanks are a bit too large.
He pulls the spent bullet out and tucks the pistol into the back of his pants.
All right. And what about the 2 diamonds?
The one in his fist, I feel like we should definitely take. Oliver is not so crass to be the one that says we should take this one, the ring.
Do you just look at it longingly?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'll absolutely be indirectly argue for it, but he will not say we should take this.
That's okay. I'll bring it to a vote here in a second. Jamie says, I don't know how to fix this pump either, but should we take these diamonds? Should we get out of here? You guys ready to go? Anything else we want to look for? Do? I'm ready to get out of here. And start
you know what? That ring there would be very helpful for your experiments, I think, with that radio thing you were doing.
Not taking a dead man's engagement ring. Holy shit. The other diamond I can kind of get. But seriously?
No. Let's not be sentimental. Vincent and I should
You talking about
bury
curses
this man.
and shit. That's how you get cursed.
Well, are you absolutely sure?
Out here?
I think
yes.
you should test it. I think you should take the ring and the picture.
Now the picture. If you must insist, you should take the picture.
You got the guts, Ollie, to take that ring, but you don't want to be the one to take that picture.
No. I was thinking Jamie should take the ring and the picture.
If someone's got to put that on their heads.
Oh, no, it's not me who wants it. Her research is very important. I wouldn't want to get in the way of scientific achievement.
No, it's definitely you who wants it.
Well, if that's the case, we should leave it right here. Jamie, do you have a shovel in that truck so Vincent and I can get to digging a grave?
All sorts of good stuff hanging off at the sides of the truck.
Starts dramatically digging a grave.
Oliver, it's midnight. Let's get back here tomorrow. It might stink a bit more, but we're not going to get much headway out here in the middle of the dark.
Oh,
damn. I was hoping to avoid that part.
There's one other relevant bit that I forgot to mention. Oh. There is a beat-up pickup truck out back near the pump.
Well, now we got to go investigate the pickup truck.
Okay. At first glance, it looks like this truck has not been working for a while. Someone give me an investigation check.
I'll do it, but what's it plus?
Intelligence.
Investigation, that thing. Intelligence, okay.
There have been many attempts to fix this truck, and looking more and more cobbled together, more and more improvised parts, and you're pretty sure that there was nothing left to put in it, nothing left to tweak to pretend to fix. And it's been sitting here for probably a few months.
I get the ghost radio back up and turn the radio on the truck. See if the ghost radio and the truck radio talk to each other at all. We can get anything that way.
Nothing from the truck. I mean, you're not sure what the spirit of a dead truck is, but if there was one, the spirit of this truck has long since departed.
I mean, 13 was a mechanic, right? Like, if anybody could fix it, he probably could. Is it just that we're lacking parts?
Lacking parts, yeah. Over the radio, you hear a gunshot.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell is that?
You know, Jamie, I don't mean to have offended you previously, but I'm beginning to think that thing might actually work.
I start going on about my theories, and places, the weirder they are, the more they attract weird things, and how witches of olden are, always out in the deep dark forest because those are the places that gave them power. And I kind of go off in an occult rant for about 2 or 3 minutes.
I take in about half of it.
The more excited Jamie gets about this, the quieter the night air becomes. You're hearing crickets for a little bit. Then you start hearing the coyotes in the distance.
All right, everybody in the Jeep. Let's move.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I guess we leave.
Do you continue on the other way that we're traveling, or do you just try and make a quick line back?
I vote back to town, but that's up to you guys. I'll go whichever direction the party wants to go.
I feel like it's the smarter move to go back in town, but adventure?
Follow your heart.
What?
You know me. I'm up for anything, but my gut says back to town.
Yeah, definitely back to town. If there's something out here, we do not want to meet it.
Following your guts is also good.
The wind is starting to pick up. Feel like if the wind is coming in tonight, should you return to town, the footprints at least, be much less likely to be around tomorrow.
As that thought strikes me, I groan and put my face in my hands.
Hey, Oliver,
Yes, my dear. What do you need?
pick a card.
Oh, of course. And then he not fake at all, hesitates and even starts to sweat over it a bit before smiling at your face and choosing the one on the far left.
Queen of Spades.
Is this good one?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. It wasn't what I was hoping for, which is really weird.
Oh,
Do you try pulling a card?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Queen of Hearts.
Oh, see, there it is.
So, which way do you guys head out? Back to
Follow
town?
your heart, Oliver. Get it?
We're going back to town. Yeah. There was definitely more
clearly
votes
you
for that.
haven't.
I'm driving carefully back to town.
Look, I was against going out to that area anyways.
Oh, Vincent, give me a wits awareness roll as you're starting to head out.
All right. Yeah, Vincent is torn on this whole thing. He doesn't like the chance to wrap something up to go by. Wits awareness. It's 4 successes.
You do see something glint, something metal, in the direction that you guys aren't traveling. It's only about 800 feet, maybe?
Shit, guys, I got one thing to check.
You guys drive over to it?
It's just a little way. We should check on it.
Sure, I'll drive us over there.
Find
It's not smart.
Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. And the world will break apart today.
Well, now, see, the only thing that this here town needs is stoplights, and wouldn't Wouldn't you know that I am a stoplight manufacturer by trade? I can make these things if you should only give me the small price of $7,000. $7,000 for the whole town. Every left
What'd you say?
street
There's
with
no
a
cars in this
stoplight.
town? Well, there could be if there was a stoplight.
Yes. Why do you think you don't have cars? You can't have cars without stoplights. People see the lack of stoplights and they say, no, sir, I'll not have any piece of that street. That is unsafe. And my poor children riding in the back seat could be plowed into at any moment. Mayhem, hysteria, and violence. No, sir, but with a stoplight, a beautiful, pristine stoplight on your corners, well, let me tell you, that is a
Yes.
beautiful, pristine, and flowing street blessed by the law and order that represents this here American nation of ours.
This
Oh
is
my
beautiful.